friends, how are you today? My name is Miss Sally, and I have a story for you today. Today's story is The Three Little Pigs. Well, once upon a time, there were three pigs, and all of them lived at home with their mother. Well, they had all grown up, and their mother gathered them around one day and said, "It is time for you to go out and make a home of your own." So they did. So they were all three walking down the road and talking about the different kinds of homes that they could make for themselves. Well, the first little pig did not like to work at all. And he said, "Well, I don't want to have to work very hard for my home." And as they were walking along, they met a man carrying a wheelbarrow full of straw and hay. And he said, "Oh, please, Mr. Man, may I please have some of your straw? I would like to make myself a home." The man said, "Well, I have all this extra. You're welcome to it. I don't think that's going to make a very strong home, though." The old pig said, "Oh, I'll be done quickly, and then I'll be able to go and play." So he said goodbye to his other two brothers, who kept walking down the road, and he gathered it all up, and he made himself a house of straw. Of course, it wasn't very strong, and it kind of waved a little bit in the breeze, but he was done quickly, and he had some time to go and play. Well, the other two brothers were walking along down the road, and they met a man with a house, or with a wheelbarrow full of sticks. And the second little pig, who said he would like to have a house a little more sturdy than the straw house, and he said, "Please, sir, may I have some of your sticks? I would like to build myself a home." The man said, "Well, I have all of these extra sticks, and you're welcome to them, but I don't think they're going to make a very strong house." The pig said, "Well, I'll put in some work. Then I'll have a little bit of time left in the day to go and play." So he took the sticks, and he gathered them all up, and his brother went on walking down the road. Well, he built his house out of sticks, and it was a little stronger than his brother's house down the road, made of straw. And he got done after a while, and he went to meet his brother, and then they decided to go and play together. Well, the third little pig, he was pretty smart, and he was strong and wanted to work hard. And as he was walking down the road, he met a man with a wheelbarrow full of extra bricks. And he said, "Oh, please, sir, may I have some of your bricks? I would love to make myself a home." The man said, "Oh, you are in luck. I have some of the best bricks around, and these are all my extras. Oh, you will surely have a strong house after this." "It's going to be a lot of work, though." The pig said, "I'm up for some hard work." So he built himself a house of bricks. Oh, it took him all day long, and the next day too. But when he was done, boy, that was a strong house. And he was all done, and he went inside, made himself a cup of tea. He was still tired. Well, a couple days later, the big bad wolf came prowling down the road. Came to the house of the first little pig, and he said, little pig, let me come in." The pig said, oh, not by the hair of my chinny chin chin, I will not let you in." The big bad wolf said, "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in." And he huffed, and he puffed, and that house blew right down in one breath. That little pig jumped up and ran as fast as his chubby little pig legs would carry him all the way to the house of his brother. And he knocked on the door. He said, brother, please let me in. The big bad wolf tried to knock down my house." So the brother opened the door and let him in. And they both stood there waiting, hoping that the big bad wolf wouldn't come. But sure enough, he came prowling down the road, and he knocked on that door, and he said, little pigs, let me come in." And they said, "Oh, no, not by the hair in our chinny chin chins. We will not let you in." "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in." And he huffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, and he puffed. Finally, after 2 huffs and puffs, that house fell right over. Those little pigs jumped up and ran as fast as their fat little legs could carry him all the way to the house of their brother. They he knocked on the door. Brother, brother, let us in. The big bad wolf blew down our house. The brother opened up, brought him in, said, oh, I told you you needed a stronger house. Well, pretty soon along came that big bad wolf. And you know what he did? He knocked on that door and he said, little pigs, let me come in. And they said, oh, no, not by the hair in our chinny chin chin. We will not let you in. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in. And he huffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, and he puffed. He could not blow down that house. It was very strong. But he thought, and he thought, and he walked around and around that house, and he saw a chimney, and he said, I'm going to come down that chimney, and I'm going to eat you up. But though that brother was very smart, and he put a big pot in the fireplace to boil, and he put carrots and onions and potatoes, all kinds of delicious vegetables in that pot. And when that big bad wolf came down that chimney, he put the lid on, and they cooked them up, and they had wolf stew for lunch. That was kind of silly, wasn't it? I hope you liked my story today. I sure had fun telling it to you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.